In a fictional realm, the first Guardians created a small sun and moon to provide warmth and light for a planet inhabited by diverse and wondrous beings. Generation after generation, the Guardians have worked to maintain the balance and peace of the world. Despite their differences, the inhabitants of the planet's daytime and nighttime regions have lived in relative harmony. However, deep within the planet, a former Guardian of the Sun named Necros awaits his chance to wreak havoc. Necros, who was banished by the powerful warrior Zola for attempting to steal the sun, is determined to plunge the world into darkness. As the time approaches for the current Guardians of the Sun and Moon, the elderly Zola and Yule, to pass on their duties, the Sun's apprentice Guardian, Sohon, and the Moon's apprentice Guardian, Liyun, prepare to take their place. However, on the day of their induction, while Sohon is accepted by the Sun's light as expected, the lunar Yu intervenes and vetoes Liyun, instead choosing a young and inexperienced fawn boy named Moon, who causes trouble. Mox, an impulsive servant of Necros, informs his master about Zol's impending retirement, which Necros sees as an opportunity to try and steal the sun once again. After this ceremony in which the Guardians show their successors what to do, the old Guardians pass away, Yule transforming into a field of tall, glowing plant-like trees and Zol turning into a stone statue. On the next night, Liyun is upset and visited by pale snakes sent by Necros, who stir up his jealousy and encourage him to turn Sohon against Moon. Meanwhile, Moon struggles to navigate the Moon Temple, causing it to deviate from its path and interfere with Sohon's duties. When Sohon confronts Moon, who has been convinced by Liyun to scold him, Necros dispatches his servant Mox and his timid, nature-loving partner Spleen to steal the sun and bring it to him. Necros gradually extinguishes the sun to ensure no one can take it from him, causing night to fall everywhere. As a result of the chaos, Moon is banished from his people and left distraught. Moon and Sohon embark on a mission to find the missing sun, aided by a young wax girl named Glim who has knowledge of astronomy and ancient stories of the world's creation. With her guidance, the trio successfully navigates the Great Blue Hole, a lake beneath which a great abyss leads to the depths of the world. Moon takes special care to watch over Glim, who is at risk of freezing and breaking in the cold water. During their underwater journey, the trio encounters Phospho, a previous Guardian of the Moon from the same generation as Necros who failed in his duty due to cowardice and gave up his position. He uses his power to awaken Glim and guide the group to the entrance of the underworld where Necros resides. As Liyun attempts to take Moon's place in the Temple of the Moon, he discovers that he is unable to control it. The moon begins to wane and crumble into dust, causing the temple to go mad and gallop uncontrollably. The temple eventually ends up in the underworld where Moon, Sohon, and Glim are located. Moon, with the help of Glim, tends to the moon while Sohon dives into the underworld to retrieve the sun. Moon discovers that he can use his magical glitter powers to calm the Temple of the Moon, inspiring Phospho, who had been observing from afar. Despite Liyun's admission that the moon is lost, Moon and Glim venture into the moon quarry of the World of Dreams, which Yule had informed Moon about before his passing, to carve a new crescent like the first Guardian of the Moon did before, as the new moon is ready but could not shine without the sun, while Moon, who had tested his powers against nightmares, and Glim developed feelings for each other. A guilt-ridden Liyun then apologizing to Moon for his actions, recognizing him as the true Guardian of the Moon. With this task done, Moon and Glim rejoin Sohon in the world of darkness. During this time, Sohon is surrounded by a mass of pale snakes who taunt and provoke him, trying to make him go mad with hatred. Sohon is saved by Phospho's intervention, who sacrifices himself to calm and free Sohon, destroying the snake wall in the process. Sohon, Moon and Glim then confront Necros and his imps. Sohon confronts Necros, but his efforts to weaken him are in vain. Meanwhile, Moon manages to defeat Mox, but Spleen fails to capture Glim due to his timid nature. Despite melting after reviving the sun, Glim encourages Moon of his powers and to defeat Necros. As Necros is about to crush Moon and Sohon, the united Sun and Moon empower their powers, and they manage to stop Necros. Moon then uses his dream powers to defeat Necros and realizes that he was under the influence of a pale snake, which he removes and destroys. Necros reverts to his original appearance as the Guardian of the Sun, then turns to stone and passes away in harmony. The underworld transforms into a paradise, with Mox left disheartened and Spleen joyous. After Necros is defeated, peace is restored to the world, allowing the two young guardians to resume their normal paths in their respective temples. Additionally, Moon sculpts Glim once again and uses the combined energy of the sun and moon during daybreak to revive her. With the fragment of the moon held by Glim, she gains the ability to withstand any temperature without melting, freezing, or cracking, regardless of the time of day. Moon and Glim then reunite and share a kiss before embarking on a journey around the world on the moon's temple. Thanks for watching! If you enjoyed the content, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and turn on notifications, to stay up to date with all our latest videos.